we have an event today, and the characters are the main characters, I should say, of the event. Actually, the only characters of the event. It's a really close-knit circle of Daisy Edgar Jones, Phoebe Bridgers, Paul Mescal, Bo Burnham, Gracie Abrams. Somehow all of these people fit into one. You can't even call it really a triangle at this point.
It's worse.
It's a Venn diagram.
Yes.
Like, also Sally Rooney. Sally Rooney's a way bigger part in this than you actually may think.
Yeah, main character.
Yeah, right. Literally. I would like to know whatever happened to polygamy, because I would think that actually this would benefit them. A polygamous relationship between all 18 of them.
I feel like they'd have
Sister wives.
Yeah, the best of both worlds.
This circle is too small for how big this world is.
Yeah.
You know? And I would say that this video, this is all the prelude, by the way. We're just going through the little details before we get into the nitty gritty of it all. Because we have an anxious, I would call it anxious attachment style to normal people.
Very.
And so
Very anxious.
And the fact that is that like we are being crazy. Okay. This is like a crazy conversation. If you are not also crazy, this conversation is probably not for you. The best thing about YouTube is that you can just talk about anything you want to.
It's our free will.
Free speech. You hear that?
It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So, alas.
Good use of free will. Phoebe and Paul, the official timeline, everything that happened between them. It was a sunny day on Twitter in 2020.
That's crazy.
In the middle of lockdown.
All of this has happened within 5 years, which is a long time.
It's a long time.
In lockdown, that was a time warp anyway. So, okay.
I feel like the timing of this all is so good because we were quite literally locked in.
Yeah.
Which I actually forgot, by the way, that it came out around this time. I think I was a little bit late to Normal People,
yeah.
I would say.
Right.
I think I watched it like a little bit after it came out.
Right.
Phoebe Bridgers and Paul Mescal first connected on Twitter saying she watched Normal People and now she was sad and horny.
That doesn't happen anymore. Why are these people not connecting in front of us anymore?
Right. And I think that's the appeal. We were so connected maybe to, or at least their fan bases saw it all go down like that.
Yeah, we were involved.
Maybe it's like the timing of reading this all and deep diving into it because I'm ovulating and
that'll do it actually.
And I'm feral. Paul sees the tweet and he replies saying, I'm officially dead. He's dead. So yeah, he was a fan.
Which I do feel like even prior to that, in interviews, he had mentioned Phoebe. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I feel like I remember him saying that he likes a Phoebe Bridgers song.
I think he was saying something to a song or something like that. He definitely knew of Phoebe and was like,
I think that's why she did that. She was like, oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
Phoebe then replies. She says, no, don't die. You're so talented. Like a.
Haha.
So then later from that tweet, they were invited to like co-host an Instagram live.
Basically. That's actually the craziest fucking thing because again, when does it happen? Lockdown, like I was saying, is a time warp.
Instagram lives, yeah, were a time, and I think everyone was so bored, so everyone was like, here, do these lives, do these whatever, which
they had no business.
Thank God for us, I guess. But that live, I was watching it earlier, and they're so awkward in it.
No, it makes me blush.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
It made Phoebe blush.
I'm telling you.
She was like, she had to like keep going out of the screen to like be like.
Mm-hmm. And I actually think that's quite endearing. I think the whole exchange is quite endearing because in that sense there you see them like connecting for the first time like face to face and you see like her so down bad. Then throughout the relationship, like I genuinely feel like Paul Mescal was so down bad for her.
So down bad.
Which again we'll get into, but anyway.
And I think in that interview though, he said something of like, oh, I really like this song of yours.
I obviously had a playlist for Connell and the song I would listen to your funeral before any of the episode 10 stuff, which is a testament to how sad your music is.
Wait, you're knowing about my stuff?
She saw what she needed to see.
Yeah.
She was interested. And then Paul was invited basically by Phoebe to be in her video for Savior Complex. And I just watched that earlier, and it's a really good music video. If anyone wants to watch that, go down the rabbit hole. I had no idea.
That's crazy. No, me neither. They moved fast, I think.
Yeah. It seemed like it because they were just hooked and got into it. And I think that's like the appeal to both of these relationships we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Edgar.
The fuck? Damn. Daisy.
Edgar. I said that with such confidence.
Yeah. I genuinely think that Paul Mescal, even from the start, after that live, he was super invested. They seemed like, okay, they were keeping it a little bit low key, but then they publicly made it official in 2021. So you had to wait a little bit, like 2020 to 2021. That's like a year. Yeah.
It's like a year.
Literally like a year. Not until November 2021 or 2021.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
so it was a while.
right. And then they made their red carpet debut, which is really crazy because we may know a lot about this red carpet. Okay. I actually was thinking about this. You know, the picture of them, this was at their red carpet debut at the Met Gala in 2021. There's the photo, infamous. We don't need to describe it, but we will in case you haven't seen this. There's a photo. Phoebe Bridgers, Paul Mescal taking a beautiful picture together. Then you see him looking away, right? Then you see another angle of Daisy Edgar Jones getting her picture taken. And guess who's in the background staring right at her?
It's
Paul Mescal.
It's like such a friendly stare too.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just so
but it's
happy to be
crazy
there.
given everything. Like if that were anybody else, it wouldn't have mattered.
No.
You know, but it's like this has been a theme throughout Paul and Daisy's friendship, okay? Is that he's constantly like looking for her, looking at her, whatever, like when they're sitting on a fashion runway
mentioning,
like, you know what I mean? Yeah, constantly talking about her. We get it.
He brings her up every chance. There's a compilation and we should insert that.
Celebrity do I get mistaken for? Daisy Edgar Jones, I suppose. No. No.
True or false? I still have Connell's chain from Normal People.
I think that's true.
False. Gave it to Dave. It's a rap gift.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
from Daisy. Daisy.
it's literally, and it's like
That was British.
Yeah,
Daisy.
they slow it down because it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's like every single opportunity he could get.
So obsessed
No, that's-
with me.
I'll be watching you.
Hey, I have an idea actually. I have this idea. We need this picture, the Met Gala infamous picture, framed behind us.
No,
that's
we
my
actually
next
do.
job.
We're gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of music videos, did you know that Paul is also in the Sidelines music video
Wait,
by Phoebe Bridgers?
sing sidelines. Wait.
I'll be watching from the sidelines.
Wait, that kind of song actually kind of gives me Normal People. Oh, wait, that song is kind of Normal People.
It literally is, and it's
Wait.
that has been my favorite song. That and The Gold by Phoebe Bridgers has always been my favorite Phoebe songs. And I just learned this today that he was in the video. And not only is he in the video, it's literally about him. Sidelines, though, it says, I'm not afraid of anything at all. I'm not dying in a fire, not being broke again. I'm not afraid of living on a fault line because nothing ever makes me cry. Not a plane going down, in the ocean I'm drowning.
Man.
Watching the world from the sidelines had nothing to prove till you came into my life and gave me something to lose. Now I know what it feels like to want to go outside, like the shape of my outline.
Damn, that last part sounds like a 1975 song. And while you were saying that, I was like, wow, I should listen to this song more. Phoebe Bridgers more. I feel like a lot of her tones I resonate with, but then you said that she doesn't cry at anything, and I was like, you lost me.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She said that.
Oh,
That's her words, not mine.
wow.
Anyway.
And okay, so this is why Sally Rooney is very much intertwined with all of this.
Yeah. Sally Rooney, that's my favorite author ever to ever exist.
To ever exist.
Yes.
I
Anyway.
agree.
So we love talking about her.
We do. Honorable mention.
Mhm.
And that also she wrote, what did I say earlier?
Conversations with Friends.
Yeah. No, what song was in that? Was Sidelines.
Oh.
Sidelines was for that. Like
Which
she had to write a song for it, I
me up.
think.
If you know Conversations with Friends, this is insane. First of all, yes, this is why Sally Rooney is so involved in this. Secondly, Conversations with Friends. Joe Alwyn is in Conversations with Friends. It's like an entire.
It's so intertwined. it's Taylor Swift universe.
I'm
like,
telling you, this
as
world is way
always.
too small. It's too small.
It's too small.
Anyway,
yeah, and the video and song was for the Hulu series
She-
Conversation with Friends.
she wrote the song for that, or she
I think she was asked to write a song, period, probably.
right,
of
but then
some
her
sort.
situation.
But then she came out later saying, "Oh yeah, that song was about."
Because if
Paul."
you watch Conversations with Friends and you know this is like the storyline in there, it's a man, he's married, they're going through things. He meets this girl who comes into their house through me. I think how did she know her? Jemima Kirk is the wife in that. Icon. Crazy sidelines.
Yes.
Conversations with Friends. Sally Rooney universe.
It's crazy. We love Sally.
cool.
I love an author that gets it, by the way. Like, even Colleen Hoover or Jenny Han,
Yeah.
they both know the vibe. Like, with
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, with the songs in they have a vision, a clear
Right.
vision, and I love that. But
Actually, Chloe Walsh too.
yeah.
She puts in her books, she puts playlists for each
you
character.
showed me that.
That's amazing.
That's
personally,
amazing.
But
And such a good touch.
yeah.
But yeah, so it later comes out that Phoebe wrote the song Sidelines about Paul. Paul and Phoebe are going strong, and
So we think.
so we think. And this is when Phoebe was like online a lot. This was when she was with the 1975 a lot.
We were fucking robbed.
We were robbed. I think they were collabing for "I'm in Love with You," for their new album, and that kissing picture came out. Remember? And I think they were like, "No, Paul approved of this." Yeah.
I remember this being a
that
thing.
picture,
And people,
literally,
being like, no, they're cool, they're chill. Like Paul's chill like that, you know,
Yes.
like it's fine. It's
and Maddie was still like single, I think,
right,
right
which
before-
was the
before.
signifying factor.
Yeah.
Underlying issue there. Interesting. Not that I think that that's an issue, but I'm just saying, like, I think that's where people were getting that from.
Yeah, but no, they were just close friends. They were just hanging out. I think Phoebe sings for a lot of their songs.
Yeah, wait, and
like
it was
4 songs. or
Paul
something.
that said he took the picture.
Yes, he took it.
So
I
that's how
think.
they got around it. He took it.
Another mention is around this time, Phoebe had Paul come out for, if you know the song "This Is the End" by Phoebe,
Her Screamo song.
it's the Screamo song where she like actually screams her head off, and it's like a big thing at her concert where it's like everyone's time to shine, to scream,
Wait.
to let their anger out.
Would she go out into the audience and have someone scream ever?
Yeah, she
Or am
has.
I imagining that?
She has done that a few times.
Okay.
I think it's for the scream.
Okay.
And there's one video though of her bringing Paul out with Paul's holding like their pug. If you look at that video though, you can kind of see Daisy and her bangs like just lurking around behind Paul.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I do miss that, like when they were so online. They were so everywhere.
Yeah. And now you just get little glimpses into the Big Bread Peddler.
Yeah.
Do you follow that?
No.
I think that's Paul's Instagram, but it's
No,
private.
I've never got
I'm in.
accepted. Paul still hasn't accepted me, but maybe one day.
Paul. The timeline, again, like I mentioned, seems very blurry to me. And obviously we don't know because they're all so lock and key. But they seem like they have a really good friend group around them, but don't give a lot to like the press or anything. Like Dumont,
Like,
like
at
I feel
all.
like would randomly say things that, but when they were spotted places, you know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
Bo and Phoebe started dating or like being seen together, like that's
Yeah.
where I found out.
Yes.
But the timeline was blurry because it just was like, oh, they just fizzled out. I don't
But-
know.
It doesn't make sense because it seemed like they were so obsessed with each other and like
Yeah, and
just
really good
friends.
for each other.
Yes. As much as I ship
Yeah,
as much as I ship Paul and Daisy, Phoebe and him
makes sense.
really were
Yeah.
really cute.
Yeah,
And they just seemed so happy together.
and that's what I just don't understand. And because the thing where the timeline gets funny is that all of a sudden, like they were with each other one day, then like I don't know if it was a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month later, they were she was spotted with Bo.
Yeah.
Which was just like a random spotting, but they were like looking a little cozy, but like friendly, like not like they weren't.
Yeah.
I don't think PDAing at that point yet.
Yep.
But it's fascinating to me how you show up like that. So I'm like, people are like, oh yeah, she cheated on Paul with Bo,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, that could be the case, but at the same time, like she is a public figure. If she was cheating and like she's like going out with him while cheating on Paul,
Right.
I don't see her being that stupid.
And I honestly don't
like it's a Bo
see
Burnham.
that in her character either. Like she seems very like friendly and nice and just
Right.
like a
Like,
good person.
Yeah, and
I would
Bo
think.
Burnham I could see maybe like cheating. Okay,
I just found this on Reddit while editing this episode, and I wanted to read it to you for those of you listening and watching. It's a comment on a TikTok, and it's someone explaining that they ran into Paul, or they were sitting next to Paul at a cafe talking with Sally Rooney, and this is the story that they heard. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. I just find it interesting because someone did corroborate it in the comments on Reddit, saying like they heard this exact same story from a friend who's the boxing coach of Paul or something. Basically, anyway, Phoebe and Bo were close mates for ages. He described her to Sally as guy you worry about stereotype. Him and Phoebe are a bit up and down because of the long distance. He's doing streetcar. Maybe she was on tour. Don't know. She rings him one day and is like, you should know, I kissed Bo. He got mad and was like, that's not okay. Don't be friends with people you can't stop yourself from kissing. She got defensive and was like, Bo's my best mate. Don't tell me who I can be friends with. They fought about it, but then whenever she came to visit, whenever it was snowing in London and it felt like it was all okay, he seemed pretty loved up. A few weeks later, she called him again and was like, I'm in love with Bo. Paul got really upset and texted Bo. I remember this bit because it cracked me up. You stupid fucking cunt. She rang him and was like, your behavior's out of line, really immature, etc. He was like, how am I in the wrong here? Ended like that. Absolutely no clue about anything that happened since. And then we all lost our shit whenever the Taylor Swift concert picture dropped of Bo and Phoebe. And wildest interaction over here in a cafe, and the fact that it was all Sally Rooney genuinely made it sound made up. So personally, I don't know whether or not I believe this, but I do find it interesting. And again, the only reason I'm even sharing is because I saw a comment on Reddit and then also another comment on that thread talking about like hearing that same story. And again, all three people could be the same person. You never know. But I thought I'd put this in just even as just a fictional, like imaginative part in this, which I don't normally think is smart because these are real people, but just again, huge grain of salt.
Yeah.
but
yeah, I can't see it, but a lot of people do speculate that.
But also because I think that Phoebe has a long history of being a really big Bo Burnham fan, I think. And so maybe she got wind that their relationship was on the rocks and they were friends or something. And then she was like, you know what? I'm sorry, Paul.
When you're in, women grieve a relationship way longer
Yeah.
than like before they end it. So it could be.
That's true. That is
Maybe
true.
she
Give her
just-
the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Maybe
She was
it just
grieving
got
it.
blurred. Like, I'm over it. Like,
Yeah.
let's get together.
Fans got wind of this breakup through Phoebe Bridgers, like actually like more so confirmation of it because she had a song with SZA, which is such a good song. I actually think this was more so my introduction to like really liking Phoebe.
Yeah, that song is so good.
Their collab.
I will say her features on albums are always so good. Like Ghost in the Machine and then
Nothing New.
Nothing New with Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Those are so good.
Jesus Christ 200 or wait,
Uh-huh.
2005 Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that song called?
God Bless
God Bless America.
Yeah.
God Bless
So
America.
good.
Yeah, thank you. And she said in the lyrics, okay, Phoebe said in the lyrics with SZA in that song, you said all of my friends are on my payroll. You're not wrong. You're an asshole. Screaming at you in the lulau. How do you say that? I know that's not how you say that, hotel. On my own in an airport bar or hotel lobby. And that's where people I literally vividly remember this happening when this came out and people being like, why would she be alone in a hotel? Where's Paul? They
Where
broke
is
up.
he? Yeah, they're done.
She did that, but then I do remember Paul. I don't know if was he getting like blasted in interviews, getting questions about this, where he said the thing where he was like, sometimes, no, maybe it was more so like a generalized question that an interviewer asks more about their life rather than just like digging deep,
Yeah.
but trying to get something
I
out
think
a different
so.
way.
Yeah.
Where they're like, how is it navigating this fame? Like,
Yeah.
how is it navigating what to share when? What he said is sometimes the temptation exists to be like, shut the fuck up. This is my life. This is what's going on, or this is what's not going on. But moving forward as much as I can, that's going to be my life. That is private. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Snaps.
Yeah, so he still just, wasn't like addressing anything though and steering clear, but definitely a sad vibe.
Again, there is a rumor, we have to bring that up, that she cheated. And so I just wonder where that rumor comes from. Something that changed my mind on the court of public opinion lately is that someone said, like, the fans are always right. Like, when you think back to Britney Spears, and I don't believe this to be the case, don't get me wrong, okay? Like, the people online, they are batshit crazy. Like, Swifties, if you think about it. What's their ratio of being right to wrong?
Right.
Or right, okay? But...
With actually a lot of fan bases,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Right. And sometimes I think for me it's easy because I'm just so not online that I'm not like other girls. I'm not as online. But no,
Different.
I just mean like I think people pick up on different things, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so maybe some people could be right. I don't know. For me, I didn't pay enough attention to give you an if and or but, you know?
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
So the thing that means the most to me, though, is that after their breakup, Paul and Daisy Edgar Jones were shown in a photo, dressed up for Halloween, dressed as the priest and Fleabag from Fleabag. Which, if you are a Fleabag fan and if you're a Normal People fan, or if you've watched either of them, even if you've hated them, you understand why this is so important. Storyline-wise, fan-wise, like it just means so much to me.
Yeah, and she's not going into detail because
I can't. No spoilers here.
maybe by next week.
Next week when she watches Fleabag, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No one fucking told me about Fleabag before this.
Not long after they broke up, things are dying down. No one's talking to any, like, we're not getting no tea, but we're speculating. This is when Gracie Abrams is mentioned.
Gracie Abrams mentioned. Oh my god. Like this maybe, I know a lot of people, I don't know where the whole Paul Mescal train came in with the hate, because people were, and Gracie Abrams, I don't know, like they get a lot of flack, even just like for their paparazzi walk, but just in general, like when she started dating him, she's just like, oh great, another one, great, he caught another one of these,
which is
whisper
so
singers.
weird because
like,
I actually looked at all of his dating history, or all of these characters actually, and Paul doesn't have anyone else like notably I keep saying that, but notably like in his history of dating,
right?
Like
So
Phoebe was kind of his like first public girlfriend from what I know.
To me it looked like she was his first girlfriend, period.
But this is also around when Phoebe opened for Taylor Swift Eras Tour, while who also was like the biggest ever opener for Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Gracie Abrams.
Okay.
Abrams.
I want to know again. We could put Taylor Swift on this thumbnail because she is involved in this somehow, some way,
Like,
somewhere.
She's always.
Because again, then Phoebe Bridgers. So you're telling me that he has Phoebe Bridgers, his ex-girlfriend, opening up for the Eras Tour. I'm pretty sure they were dating still at the time. Then they break it off. Well, the Eras Tour, okay, it's kind of like unfair to say. And they were still doing the Eras Tour when they got together.
Yeah.
When Gracie and him, but because it was so long. But it just is fascinating that he had his little gritty paws in two of her openers.
Yes. Two of them. And
I love it.
And I was trying to go back to see if they were together like on the same shows. I don't think I think it might have been when Gracie was like on her break, going
right, like
on
I
her
think
tours and whatever.
I think that was what it was.
Yes, because
They would
that was
flip-flop.
also the time of when Maddie Healy was singing with Phoebe on stage, because if I have to remember it, you have to remember it. Literally everyone else has to know it. If I think
I would gladly.
no, me
gladly.
too. It's gladly, but like it haunts me, like that whole thing. And it was right before we saw her, and then we got like the saddest songs.
It was the best
the
of
way.
times. It was the worst of times.
It was all of them.
It was the worst of times just because it didn't last, but like that was my happiest. They tried to take it away from me. Throughout everything, though, it's just fascinating because all of the little details. To me, it's more so like, okay, we just went through the facts, but do you know the little details? The little details are what really get me, because there's like, okay, the chicken shop date, right, with Amelia de Moldenberg.
I love that.
She's sitting there, they're talking, and he's like, yeah, this is my first date shirt. He was giggling, okay? And I'm like, why are you giggling?
Sorry, your eyes match your jumper.
This is my date shirt.
But you've worn this before on a date?
Maybe. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you're always pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah.
And so then, months after, it comes up on my For You page, a picture of him in his first date shirt with Daisy Edgar Jones. And I'm just like, sure, you can wear the shirt whenever. But like, I also am like, why would you be giggling like that? You know something that I don't.
Yeah, you're giggling a little too
much. He was getting a little too much pleasure out of that. He knows people are going to find that picture.
And that whole chicken shop
Yes.
date. Yeah, he's just a giggly guy.
Right.
Like the vibes are up. I really do love that one.
If like tomorrow, Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones were like, I'm getting married, I'd be like, that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Whether I can say I ship them or not, but I'm going to sound crazy if I say I really wish they were together. Again, that's a selfish thing, just because like Jordan, they're not the normal people characters, you know, like this is real fucking life, Jordan. This is real life. These are real people, Jordan.
Actually, she says that a lot, and I've heard her say it in a few interviews that she will go out with Paul, like when they hang out, and everyone's like, I think everyone gets it confused in their head of like, they're not seeing the
that they're not,
they're not seeing the normal people cast. This is like them.
Well, it's so hard when something is, when you're like, there are shows like Fleabag and Normal People and Conversations with Friends where you get so entwined into the characters, especially if you like read the book and watch the show, and like
it's a different
relationship.
Yes,
you don't get it,
especially if you read the book. It's like you know their thoughts. You remember those, and
those are my friends.
Those are my friends. Like I know that.
Yeah, and that's the issue. And my thing is like I'm sure the truth is that they are best friends. Like they're not fucking hooking up under the table. Like I'm sure.
Yeah,
but do best friends have cutest couple compilations?
Right.
Maybe.
That they also definitely like see. They're aware. Like
he totally has a folder of them on his like watch later on YouTube.
His private. Like he needs phone lock to do it.
Yes, exactly. Face ID.
Yeah. Also, speaking of best friends, like that's something that is always brought up in their interviews.
Yeah.
Like whoever they're interviewing, Paul or Daisy.
Right.
And she told the crowd that she fell in love with him as a friend. She was like, and that's when I fell in love with him. And like she had to like
stop herself. Oh, I see.
Stop herself.
So read the book, fell in love with it, fell in love with Lenny's work, and met Paul, fell in love with Paul, like, you know, as a friend. I'm announcing it here.
As soon as she said that, she's like,
right.
It's over, because that's like exactly what everyone wants to hear.
Right. Yeah, you're feeding delusions there. Yeah, for sure.
And that was at a film festival in 2024.
Okay.
So
I remember that.
That one was recent, but that actually makes it worse because it's still going.
Yeah.
It's actually further deep probably right now.
Right. Because here's the thing. And again, like I said, I do believe that they're just really good friends. And I just think they speak so highly of each other. And I think that's what's beautiful, okay? If you take everything else away, if you take your shipping away, if you think that they should be together, whatever, if you take everything away and realize or just like look at it as friends, that's a really beautiful friendship. And I am maybe just envious that's like there are people out there like that, like who speak so highly of each other. Platonic relationship. No, I shouldn't say that. It's platonic, okay? Yeah. Like no, I keep going back and forth, but
I'm telling you, like I think that's why everyone, including me, is obsessed with this relationship because of how okay. First of all, this is already like a book. Yeah, a book community, like
right?
Romance lovers,
the Desperados,
right? It's hopeless romantics, like. Yeah. And then on top of it, it's like friendship, friends to lover.
Yeah.
Like underlined, period. Yes. Like they're so rom-com in the way of like talking about each other, interview to interview.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even like, again, whether it's friends, whether it's as lovers and normal people, like their connection or their chemistry is unmatched. I don't think I've seen like, I don't know, Notebook level vibes. Like I'm trying to think of other things that give me that, like where you really truly believe it on screen. And I think that shows just maybe how good of actors they are, because genuinely I do think that with any role either of them play, I do believe everything.
Speaking of their chemistry and everything together, she has always said like, I've never felt adrenaline like it when they're doing their chemistry reading. And like when
I was rewatching those
when they first met, and I feel like that just says it all. She like said that she just knew it was Paul. Like she accidentally walked in the room and he was there, and she like instantly felt
like, oh, that's Connell.
Like that's him.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Oh my God. That like gives me butterflies.
Yeah. But the worst part is they watched Normal People together.
That's diabolical.
And by the way, I found out this information today. I had no idea, and it actually gets worse. So let me just read you the article of what she said about this whole situation, because it's actually insane. Verbatim: we hadn't actually watched it together, Daisy and I, because of lockdown. We hadn't done that, so last week we got together and watched the whole thing through.
The whole thing?
We actually ended up playing a little drinking game. Every time Connell wouldn't complete a sentence, or anytime Marianne would make an empathetic statement that made Connell uncomfortable, we did a shot. We ended up talking over most of it, just reflecting on particular days, costume changes, memories. It was very special to get to do that with her. The thing we shared, will always share, is so unique.
It is so unique.
And then
that's so unique. Do they normally watch it together? I mean, I guess in a film you would be watching it next to someone like at a premiere. So I guess yes.
I think the thing about this is like they literally like they intentionally went alone though
to watch it.
And that is so. It's not a weird thing to watch, but it's so emotional.
I guess I'm just built different because if that were me and if we're
like, how do you
similar, well, maybe they both weren't single, so they can't. But like,
I guess, but
again,
even
it would make
is that kind of
Phoebe
weird?
horny.
Because is that weird though to go watch that with
someone while you're in a relationship? Wait, that's a great point you raised too.
Right.
I don't know.
Like,
lines are blurred.
Low-key, I'd be jealous.
Yeah.
Like, let me please. Or he said there was so much positive noise around the show when it came out, but I can safely say that we both worked incredibly hard to bring those characters to life, both for the sakes of the production, but also for our own careers. We knew how much it was going to mean, to be honest. We understood the significance and size of the job, and that our relatively new careers would be judged for it in a very public arena.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They were such new little babies to the industry, I feel like, when they did that. And I think that was such a great standout role, too. Like Timothée Chalamet in Call Me By Your Name. Like, those things, they really, like, if you're a new actor, like, you need to try to get on something that really means something to people. Because now I love Saoirse Ronan for life. I love Timothée Chalamet for life. I like love them both for life. You know what I'm saying? Because you're connected to those characters from the book, from the movies. Great acting tip from me.
It is. And I think they've said that was like their first big thing. And and they're like so grateful that it went off the way it did. But because it just went so far.
Yeah. And the thing is, we would love to have a Bo Burnham and Phoebe Bridgers part of this video, but there really is not a lot on them. They've been seen at public places together, smooching it up, cuddling, going to concerts, whatever it is. Other than that, I know zippity doo dah. Okay, like on the other hand, we don't know much about Gracie Abrams either. I will say, like Gracie and Paul, and I love them together. Like I said, like I ship them so hard.
Me too. I think they're so cool.
I think they make sense too.
They make sense. They're so cool. I think they complement each other. Like, I mean, in every way.
And my thing is, when I was listening to Secret of Us, because that's kind of right before that is when I got wind that Gracie and him were even a thing, like since 2021, or they had been on and off, or like seeing each other, hooking up, whatever it is. I swear to you, that made me love that album even more, picturing Paul Mescal as her love interest in it. And being like, oh wait, like not the ones about her ex, you know what I mean? But like the ones where it's like, you were the best thing. You were the best. You were like so sweet. You were everything.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I just saying.
Yes, I agree. Because also I think
that was my fan cast.
Oh my gosh, and it's so good.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
But I think too, because Gracie is kind of like she hasn't had a lot of relationship like publicly,
right?
Relationships publicly, or like people that we know of at least.
A lot of pap walks,
right? So to picture someone like her type or whoever it is, it just
that's a great point.
A face to it.
Yeah, puts face to the name.
Yeah.
Yes, I get you.
Yeah.
But like honestly, like that's kind of all we have as far as all of these relationships go. Love all of these people. Honestly,
it's really hard because it's like when you think about it. I think we said this earlier that you can't even pick a favorite.
No.
Wait, favorite couple.
Right. A favorite OTP? I don't know where.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen Inside with Bo Burnham? Did you watch that?
I don't.
In
think
2020.
So. Wait, so I thought he was a comedian.
He is, but
he's an actor too.
He made it's like a comedy. It's comedy kind of musical show or like movie kind of thing that he did. Maybe we should watch that later because I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's really good. I don't know. Like again, I don't know much about these people like individually when you go into it, but I know like all these people have their own division of haters online. I don't know what for.
Very much so.
Like I know people say maybe Bo Burnham cheated and maybe that's why. I don't know otherwise if he did anything.
I will say with Bo, I feel like the only thing I've ever heard about him is
that he's a cheater.
Bad. It's like bad aura. Like that's what I get. Like from people. People don't like him.
I see.
Is what I
see.
What I know of him. He seems
deep dive into this.
Oh my gosh, the biggest lore of all. Phoebe and Paul were engaged.
Yeah,
we forgot to mention that, but
that's a great point. Actually, anyway, that's our episode.
This is so fun and heartbreaking to go through.
And I'm not kidding you guys. This weekend, I am literally restarting Normal People for the 5th time.
Oh my gosh, I was going to ask you earlier. I thought you started it.
No, I was going to, and I just keep pushing it off because I need to really be in the zone. I need to be locked in.
Yeah, and I usually do watch it once a year, at least, and usually around this time, like dead of winter. Like it gives
you need it.
Yeah, I do need it.
You need a little pick me up. And so we're going to go do that.
Yes.
Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you're subscribed down below if you're not already, because we're going to continue making things like that. This is the year of 2025, and this is the year of Jamie and Jordan, the Inside Out podcast, and we are here for you. Thanks for being here. We love you. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.